Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 6th March 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please understand we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. You might be knowing the cost of the training is over 8,000 US dollars. It is a highly expensive training course, but even then, we are providing complete free training and all the training lessons are available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. So at our channel homepage, click on the tab Posts. Some of you might be seeing the tab Community. Click on the tab. You get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that will take you to all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are into supply demand zone price action course YouTube playlist. I kept all the training lessons in this playlist, and you need to start your training from lesson 1.1 that is available at the bottom of the page. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here, starting from lesson 1.1, I kept all the training lessons in an order. So please go through all these lessons one by one according to my training instructions mentioned at our Telegram channel. I provided the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. Join at our Telegram channel. At the top of the Telegram channel window, you can find pinned messages. Click on the pinned messages. There you can find all the training instructions. Learn this course according to my training instructions. Definitely you will become a very good independent trader in the coming months. So please make use of this opportunity and be a successful trader. Now let's get into the report generation with the help of NeoStock Software Supply Demand Zone Top-Down Analysis Strategy Builder. First, I am going to generate stocks near demand and supply zones and also price closed inside demand and supply zones for different time frames. So starting with the yearly time frame, price closed inside the yearly demand zone, we got 4 stocks. I'm giving you only few seconds time to watch the report, so I request you pause the video, study the report. After that, you can proceed to the next reports. In case if you does not understand the structure of this report, I request you complete our training lesson 21.1. That is part 1 of lesson 21. In that video, I have explained each and every column, their values, their abbreviations in detail. Now let's get into the next report. For yearly time frame, price closed inside the yearly supply zone, no stocks are available. Next time frame is half yearly, stocks near half yearly demand zone, we got 1 stock. Next, for half yearly time frame, stocks near half yearly supply zone, no stocks are available. Next, half yearly time frame, price closed inside the half yearly demand zone, we got 9 stocks. Next, half yearly time frame, price closed inside half yearly supply zone, we got 1 stock. Okay, next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone, we got 4 stocks. Next, quarterly time frame, stocks near quarterly supply zone, we got 6 stocks. Next, quarterly time frame, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, we got a big list. First 23 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 41 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list by setting the EMA Confluence parameter. For quarterly supply zone, having quarterly EMA Confluence. So for these 41 stocks, I am setting this EMA Confluence on quarterly time frame by setting quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence. And when you set EMA confluence, trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, we got 21 stocks from 41. And these 21 quarterly demand zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. And also current price closed inside those quarterly demand zones. Okay, next. Quarterly time frame. Price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 3 stocks. Let's check any of these quarterly supply zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. In quarterly time frame, I am setting the filter quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA confluence. So 2 stocks are filtered. These 2 quarterly supply zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. Of course, price is closed inside the quarterly supply zone. So this is about quarterly time frame. The next time frame is a monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Next, stocks near monthly supply zone. We got again 6 stocks, another 6 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 19 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 44 stocks are filtered. Price closed inside monthly demand zone. We can further filter this list based on monthly demand zones having monthly EMA confluence. So let us set the filter on these 44 stocks. EMA confluence monthly, I am setting monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence filter, and also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Now the list is come down to 21 stocks from 44 stocks. And these 21 monthly demand zones are having monthly EMA confluence. And also current price closed inside the monthly demand zone. Always look into the signal type to understand where price is there. Some of these zones are high liquidity monthly demand zones. This is the way you can understand. Or you can look into the zone column. That way you can identify high liquidity zones or pierced zones. Or using PAE column, pierced. It is a short name for pierced. Based on pierced count also you can identify the demand zones, pierced demand zones. Okay. So these 21 stocks are filtered. Next, for monthly time frame, price closed inside the monthly supply zone, we got 12 stocks. Out of these 12 stocks, how many monthly supply zones are having monthly EMA confluence? Let us set the EMA confluence filter on monthly time frame with the filter monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence. And also the trend on the monthly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Now we got 5 stocks. These 5 monthly supply zones are having monthly EMA confluence. And also current price closed inside those monthly supply zones. So this is about a monthly time frame. Next time frame is a weekly. Stocks near weekly demand zone. We got 5 stocks. Next, weekly time frame, stocks near weekly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Nifty 50 is also near the weekly supply zone. Interesting. Nifty Mid Cap Select is also at weekly supply zone, near to the weekly supply zone. Okay, I'm scrolling the list down. So total 23 stocks are filtered. Okay, next. Weekly time frame, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list, we got the big list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 37 stocks are filtered. Price closed inside weekly demand zone. We can further filter this list by setting the EMA filter. Weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. So in the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, I am setting the filter. Weekly demand zone is having weekly EMA confluence or not. And also the trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, we got 7 stocks from 37. These 7 weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence. And also the current price closed inside the weekly demand zone. Okay, this is a price closed inside weekly demand zone and also weekly EMA confluence for weekly demand zones. Next, for weekly time frame, price closed inside the weekly supply zone, we got 10 stocks. Sorry, some mistake I made here. This is not tested. We should look for price closed inside the weekly. Previously also we looked into demand zone, and let me cross check once. 37, right? Yeah, perfect. So inside weekly supply zone. For weekly time frame, price closed inside weekly supply zone, we got a big list. First 16 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 33 stocks are filtered. Out of these 33 weekly supply zones, how many supply zones are having weekly EMA confluence? Let's verify. So in the EMA confluence at a weekly time frame, I am setting the filter. Weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence or not. And the trend on the weekly time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So with these filters, we got 12 stocks. So these 12 weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA confluence. And also the current price closed inside the weekly supply zone. Okay, this is about a weekly time frame. The next time frame is a daily. Entry time frame daily, let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. We got 7 stocks. So let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Bharti Airtel is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. Prestige is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. We have identified 2 stocks having high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Okay, next. For daily time frame, let us find the stocks near daily supply zone. We got 11 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. IGL is having a high liquidity daily supply zone. Patanjali is having a high liquidity daily supply zone. and power grid is having high liquidity daily supply zone. We have identified 3 high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. Okay, next, daily time frame, price closed inside the daily demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. We got 16 stocks. Out of 16, how many are having a daily demand? How many of these daily demand zones are having daily EMA Confluence? Let's verify. EMA Confluence at daily, I'm setting the filter daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence, and trend on the daily time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, we got 3 stocks. And these 3 daily demand zones are having daily EMA Confluence. Out of these 3, 2 are pierced zones. Okay. Next, daily time frame. Price closed inside the daily supply zone. We got a big list. First 15 stocks in the list. Oh, Nifty 50 is closed inside the daily supply zone. If this daily supply zone is violated, then Nifty trend will be changed. Daily trend will be changed to sideways. Currently, daily trend is in downtrend. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. So total 74 stocks are filtered. Out of the 74, how many daily supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence? Let us verify. So in the EMA Confluence at daily time frame, I am setting the filter daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence or not, and trend on the daily time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, now the list is come down to how many? 40 stocks. Still it is a big number. Okay, first 15 stocks in the list. Nifty is not filtered. Nifty Financial Services is also not filtered. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. So total 40 stocks. Current price closed inside the daily supply zone, and also those daily supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence. Okay, this is about daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. First 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 17 stocks are filtered. Next, 125 minutes time frame, stocks near 125 minutes supply zone, we got 13 stocks. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. So let us find the stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. So we got 17 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones from this list. Divis Lab is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. Max Health is having a high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone. And next trend is having high liquidity 75 minutes demand zone. That means we identified 3 high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones from this list. Okay. Next, for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity 75 minutes supply zones from this list. L&T Mindtree is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. That's it. We have identified only 175 minutes high liquidity supply zone from this list. Okay, this is about 75 minutes time frame. With this, we have completed daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones, identifying them. Okay, next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Next 25 minutes time frame. Stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. We got 5 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Let's verify how many of these are having ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. We got 4 stocks. These 4 demand zones, 15 minutes, these are all 15 minutes demand zones. So these 4 demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zones. That is what zone confluence. Okay, next 15 minutes time frame. Stocks near 15 minutes supply zone. We got 4 stocks. Out of these 4, how many supply zones, 15 minute supply zones are having 75 minute supply zone confluence? That is ITF supply zone confluence. So I am enabling the filter 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. With this filter, out of 4, we got only 1 stock, but unfortunately that is a pierced supply zone. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Out of these 6, how many 5 minutes demand zones are having ITF demand zone confluence? That is 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. So I am enabling that filter. We got only 1 stock. Unfortunately, this 1 stock 5 minutes demand zone is a pierced demand zone. We can't use it. Okay, next 5 minutes time frame. Stocks near 5 minutes supply zone. We got 6 stocks. Out of these 6, how many supply zones are having ITF confluence? Let us verify. That is 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, we got 2 stocks. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones. Next, let us look into NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain reports. So I am generating a monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Okay, this is Nifty monthly supply demand zone chain. In all the supply demand zone chain reports, always look into the zone column to find high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Always look into LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. And you know, one time frame is higher is ITF, one more time frame higher is HTF. You are aware of all these rules. And I am giving you only few seconds time, so you need to pause the video and you should study, and then you should move on to the next time frame reports. Okay, next. Weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 125-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 75-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. The nearest demand zone to the current closing price. And the one above is the nearest supply zone to the current closing price. Okay, next, 25-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. So let me put it in the center by scrolling the list down. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. All these are all supply zones. Let me scroll the list down until we find demand zones, and let us keep them in the center. This is the nearest demand zone, sorry, even before that, PR's demand zone. This is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. Okay. Next, 5-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. All these are all supply zones. I am scrolling the list down. The second page also, all the complete list is the supply zones. Again, I am scrolling the list down. Here we have 67 serial number is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. I'm adjusting so that we can keep the center. Okay. So this is Nifty 5-minute supply demand zone chain. So this is about Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next we will look into BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. So Nifty Bank is nothing but BANKNIFTY. Let's start with monthly time frame. So monthly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, weekly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 125-minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next, 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Twenty-fourth is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price. I'm scrolling the list and put it in the center. Okay. Next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So let me keep this demand zone in the center. $32 is the nearest demand zone to the current closing price, and 31 is the nearest supply zone to the current closing price. It is a pierced supply zone. Okay. So this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. So we have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain reports. And the next reports are about bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly, daily and hourly income trades. So let me start with the bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone, demand zone. Bullish or bearish trade setup at daily, I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum order enhances score 12. Let's filter. We got 8 stocks. Currently, these 8 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. And all these entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. All these demand zones. Out of these 8 daily demand zones, we can further filter them based on the zone confluence. First filter is LTF, ITF, demand zone confluence. Let us set that filter on these 8 stocks. So in the demand zone confluence, I am enabling the filter daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence, because LTF is daily, ITF is weekly. So with this filter, from 8 stocks, we got 5. And in these 5 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zones. And the weekly trend is up in all these stocks. So if daily is part of weekly, so if weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence, then these daily demand zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. Let's set that filter. EMA confluence, weekly time frame, I am setting weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. Anyway, trend is uptrend. So we got 2 stocks. ITF trend is up. And ITF zone having ITF EMA confluence. ITF means weekly. Weekly trend is up and weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. Inside the weekly demand zone, we have daily demand zone is there. That is overlapped. So these 2 stocks might be having even more probability to get success. Maybe that is the reason why see Muthoot Finance is already tested 4 times and 8 rejections from the zone. Okay, next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence supported stocks. I am removing EMA filter. Earlier 5 stocks are filtered, LTF and ITF. Among those 5, we will see how many are having even HTF zone confluence. LTF-ITF filter is already enabled, and we need to set two more filters specific to HTF. One is the daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence, and another one is weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. With all the three filters, LTF, ITF, HTF, demand zone confluence, we got only one stock. And this demand zone, daily demand zone, overlapped with weekly demand zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. Monthly is HTF. Monthly trend is up. So because monthly trend is up, if we check if the monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, because the daily is overlapped inside monthly. If monthly is having monthly EMA confluence, then our daily demand zone might be having more success, more probability to get success. Let's verify. EMA confluence at monthly time frame. I'm setting the filter. Monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. Already trend is uptrend, so no need to check for any other filters. So we got this stock. So that means the JK Cement is having a more probability to get success. It is, remember, it is only the probability. We are not saying it will be successful, because we can't predict the future, but only we can check the probability based on the conditions, several conditions. So that is what we did. And all these conditions we discussed in lesson 27. If you are not aware of all these conditions, please complete lesson 27. All the zone confluence, EMA confluence strategies I have explained with clear examples. Okay, next we will look into, this is bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next we will look into bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone, supply zone. And also bullish or bearish trade setup at daily. I am selecting this time bearish. And zone achievement, violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score 12. With these filters, we got 6 stocks. Currently, these 6 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. And entry time frame zones are daily supply zones. All these are all daily supply zones. So out of these 6 daily supply zones, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? Let's verify. That is a daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. So I am enabling the filter. With this filter, out of 6 stocks, we got all the 6. That means in all these 6 stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with the weekly supply zones. So daily is part of the weekly supply zone. And the weekly trend is a downtrend in all these stocks, ITF trend. If any of the weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, then those stocks are even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. The EMA confluence at weekly time frame, I am setting the filter. Weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence or not. We got 2 stocks. So these 2 stocks, ITF trend is a downtrend, and ITF that is a weekly and a daily zones are overlapped, and also weekly zone having weekly EMA confluence. And one of these stocks supply zones, not demand, supply zones. We should focus on the supply zones. And one of these stocks is having high liquidity supply zone. Okay, this is LTF, ITF and ITF supply zone confluence. Next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. That is daily, weekly and monthly supply zone confluence. Removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled. Daily with weekly. Next, daily supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence, and weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, these daily supply zones are overlapped with weekly supply zones. Both together again overlapped with monthly supply zone. But monthly trend is sideways in all the stocks. Sideways trend, EMA confluence does not add any advantage. So, excuse me. Just a minute, please. Have to drink some water. Okay. So this is about bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, we will look into weekly income trade, bullish and bearish trade setups. Weekly income trade, bullish trade setup, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zones. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhanced score 12, and also 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count parameter at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With all the three filters, we got 4 stocks. And these 4 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, and these entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. Out of these 4 75 minutes demand zones, let us verify how many are having ITF zone confluence. That is 75 minutes with daily demand zone confluence. So in the demand zone confluence, I am enabling the filter 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. With this filter, we got 2 stocks out of 4. And these 4 are even more high probability trade setup 75 minutes demand zones. Okay, but within these 2, we need to check even EMA confluence is there or not, daily zone. But second one is sideways, you can't use EMA, it does not add any advantage. Uptrend stock we need to check. Whether if this stock is having daily EMA confluence, then Bajaj Finance is even more high probability trade setup supported stock to get the success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, because 75 minutes entry zone is overlapped with daily demand zone, that's why we are checking daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. And the trend on the daily should not be sideways. It can be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. Something wrong. Oh, sorry. Sorry for the mistake. Both are having, because both are supporting uptrend only. This is, we are checking ITF, right? ITF is always uptrend in the bullish trade setup. Sorry, I looked into the HTF. So that's why I made a mistake. So excellent. Both the stocks are filtered, both the stocks are having ITF as an uptrend, and both the ITF zones, that means the daily zones, are having daily EMA confluence. That way these 2 are more probability to get success. So this is a LTF, ITF and ITF EMA confluence. LTF, ITF zone confluence and ITF EMA confluence. So next we will look into HTF confluence also. Removing this EMA filter. Sorry, where is it? Here. Now in the demand zone confluence, we have to set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled, 75 with daily demand zone confluence. Next, 75 minutes demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. Daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence, we did not get any stocks. That means we don't have any stocks that is supporting the 75 minutes daily and weekly demand zone confluence. That support is not there. I think something happened here. Zone violation trend up. This filter is not required. Maybe that is the reason why we made a mistake here. Let me remove this filter also. Now let us check. Even then, we don't have any stocks. Weekly, daily 75, daily 75. We don't have any stocks. Okay, fine. So this is about a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Entry zone, supply zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting bearish. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and hands score 12. And 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 15 stocks. Currently, these 15 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. And all these entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. All these zones are 75 minute supply zone. These are the entry time frame supply zones. Out of these 15, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? Let's verify. That is 75 with daily supply zone confluence. 75 minutes with daily supply zone confluence. I am enabling that filter. With this filter, out of 15 stocks, the list is come down to 13 stocks. That means majority of the stocks. Again, the 75 minute supply zone is overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is a downtrend in all these stocks, ITF trend. So if daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence, then those stocks might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. EMA confluence at a daily time frame. I am setting the filter daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. With this filter, we got 7 stocks. From 13 stocks, we got 7. So these 7 stocks are having more probability to get the success. This is based on LTF, ITF supply zone confluence and ITF supply zone with ITF EMA confluence. So next we will look into LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minutes daily and weekly supply zone confluence supported stocks. I am removing EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, we should set 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. 75 with daily supply zone confluence. Next, 75 minute supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. Daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. All the 3 filters are enabled. With these filters, we got 6 stocks. In these 6 stocks, these 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. Both together again overlapped with weekly supply zone. And weekly means HTF. Weekly trend is down in 1, 2, 3, 4 stocks. If those downtrend supported stocks, if they are having a weekly EMA confluence, then they are even more high probability to get the success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, at a weekly time frame, I am setting the filter weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence or not. And trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be down. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So we got 2 stocks. So these 2 are having even more high probability to get the success. These 2 75 minutes supply zones. So this is about bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next we will generate a daily income trade related stocks, bullish and bearish trade setups. First, daily income trade bullish trade setup, entry time frame 15 minutes, entry zone demand zone, bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes time frame I am selecting bullish, Zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score 12, and 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 8 stocks. So currently these 8 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. So all these demand zones are 15 minutes demand zones. Out of these 8 15 minutes demand zones, how many are having ITF demand zone confluence? That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Let's verify. So I am enabling the filter 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. So with this filter, out of 8 stocks, we got 7 stocks. In all these 7 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily 75 minutes demand zone. 15 minutes demand zone overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend, ITF trend, is uptrend in all these stocks. That's why let's verify if 75 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. If any stocks are there, they could be even more high probability trade setup supported stocks to get the success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting the filter 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. So with this filter, we got 1 stock. So that way this daily demand zone might be having, this 15 minutes demand zone might be having more high probability to get success, because 15 minute zone overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. That 75 minutes demand zone is having daily EMA confluence. Okay, this is based on LTF, ITF and ITF EMA confluence. Next we will look into LTF, ITF, HTF zone confluence. So I removed EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, I am setting 3 filters. First filter is already enabled. Second filter, 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. Next, 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF, demand zone confluence, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with daily demand zone. But daily trend is sideways in both these stocks. So we can't check daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence, because in EMA confluence, in sideways trend, EMA confluence does not give any advantage. You already learned EMA confluence should not be used in sideways trend. Okay, next, this is bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame 15 minutes. Entry zone, supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And pierced count at 5 minutes time frame, 15 minutes time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value I am setting 0. So this is the way we can generate bearish trade setup supported stocks. We got 2 stocks. Bearish trade setup for daily income trade, we got 2 stocks. And both these entry time frame zones are supply zones, are 15 minute supply zones, because you already selected entry time frame is 15 minutes and entry zone is supply zone, and that 15 minute supply zone should be generated based on the bearish trade setup entry time frame. Bearish trade setup entry time frame is always daily income trade for 15 minutes. Okay, out of these 2, How many are having ITF supply zone confluence? Let's verify. That is 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. So both are filtered. So that means both these stocks, these 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. And 75-minute trend is downtrend. If any of the 75-minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, then those stocks are more high probability trade setup supported to get the success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, 75 minutes time frame, I am setting the filter 75-minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence. So none of the stocks are having 75-minute supply zones are having EMA confluence. None of them. That means they don't have EMA confluence. Next we will look into both the stocks are having LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. So in the supply zone confluence, first filter is already set. Next 15-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence, 75-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. With all the three filters, we got one stock. That means this 15-minute supply zone is overlapped with 75-minute supply zone. Both together again overlapped with the daily supply zone. And daily trend is a downtrend. If the daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence, then this stock could be even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. EMA confluence, daily time frame, I am checking. Daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence. Anyway, trend is a downtrend. So no need to set the trend checking. So that stock is not having daily EMA confluence. The daily supply zone is not having daily EMA confluence. So this is about bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Next we will look into bullish and bearish trade setups for hourly income trade. For hourly income trade, bullish trade setup, entry time frame 5 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, I am selecting bullish. Zone achievement VOZ, odd enhancer score minimum value 12. And 5 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, 5 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So with these filters, we got 20 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. Bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame zones are 5 minutes demand zones. First 15 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total we got 20 stocks. Out of these 20, how many are having ITF demand zone confluence? Let us verify. 5 minutes and 15 minutes demand zone confluence. So I am enabling the filter 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. With this filter, out of 20 stocks, we got 18 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 18 stocks. That means in all these 18 stocks, the 5 minutes demand zones, all these 5 minutes demand zones, they are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. And 15 minutes trend, ITF trend, is uptrend in all these stocks. So that's why if 15 minutes demand zones are having, any of the 15 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, then those zones might be having even more high probability to get success. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at 15 minutes time frame, I am checking 15 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. So 3 stocks are filtered. So these 15 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. Good. Okay, next we will check, we can based on LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence. That is 5 minutes, 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I removed this ITF filter, ITF. So in the demand zone confluence, already 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence is enabled. So next 5 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Next 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. With all the three filters, we got 14 stocks. In these 14 stocks, the 5 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 15 minutes demand zone. Both together again overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes uptrend stocks should have daily EMA confluence, then there could be even more high probability to get success. Let's verify that. That is 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. And trend should be uptrend. The EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame. I'm checking 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence or not. And also trend on the 75 should not be sideways. It should be uptrend. Because it is bullish trade setup. With these filters, we got 3 stocks. So these 3 stocks are having even more high probability to get the success. Because all the 75 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence. Moreover, all these 15 minutes demand zones are high liquidity demand zones. So this is about bullish trade setup for hourly income trade. Next, we will generate a bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Entry time frame 5 minutes. Entry zone, supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 5 minutes, I am selecting bearish. And 5 minutes, zone confluence should be violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And the 5 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 5 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. So in these 2 stocks, these 5 minutes, these 2 stocks are supporting these sorry to say, I'm sorry. So these 2 5-minute supply zones are currently entry time frame supply zones in the bearish trade setup. So out of these 2, how many are having ITF zone confluence, supply zone confluence? Let's verify. 5 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone confluence. Five-minute supply zone with 15-minute supply zone confluence filter is enabled. 1 stock is only filtered. Let's check the supply zone is having any EMA confluence. The 15 minutes, because 5 minutes is overlapped with 15. So we are checking 15 minutes supply zone having daily EMA confluence. So it is not having. So I am removing EMA filter and checking that stock is having HTF supply zone confluence. So in the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already enabled. Next 5-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence. 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we don't have any HTF zone confluence supported stocks. So this is bearish trade setup for hourly income trade. Okay, next let us look into the final report. Let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. So first 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. So I am scrolling the list down, whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video. After that you can proceed further. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.